Hey everybody, I'm your host Kai, and in today's video, we're gonna jump into the Reddit Accidental Ally. So let's jump into that Reddit.
Alright, so this first one is like they found this on Instagram, right? And it goes, told a guy I was transitioning, he said, I'll never be a boy, thanks. Because in this particular photo, this is a trans woman. So, like, you are an accidental ally because you were affirming the gender that she was. But goes to show that these transphobes, these transphobic people don't really and can't really tell. They claim they can. They always say, hey, I can tell, but they can't. That's the thing. They can never tell. And right there is proof. So this one's like, thanks, I guess. Reminder there are two gender. That you can only be one, but good for you that you found yourself. Yeah, I can see why they're like, thanks, I guess. Because you're like, oh, good job that you found yourself. So you're like technically saying that what they say they are is true. But at the same time, there's actually they don't know the difference between gender and sex. See, sex is the chromosome part, and right. And the thing is there's actually three when it comes to sex. There's man, woman, and intersex. Those are the three sexes, right? That's the part that's based off the chromosomes. And chromosomes, by the way, weren't discovered until like the mid 1800s to late 1800s. Before that, nobody knew what chromosomes were or even knew anything about chromosomes. Gender is a social construct. That's totally a different thing. So, yeah, but again, me saying that, I mean, I'm expecting them to understand anything past fifth grade biology, and we all know they don't. Because, like, early in high school, we're taught that there's three forms of matter, right? There's, gas, liquid, and a solid. But later on, you find out there's also plasma, and it goes on and goes in further into extending that knowledge that there's more than just the three matters of, there's three, forms of matter. There's more than just the three. So, yeah, but again, that's expecting them to know anything past fifth grade biology. And this one is wholesome, but Duran Duran merch looks like Bi Pride. And it's like free to love. Yeah, it does look like, Bi Pride. So, I mean, I guess accidental ally, I mean, even though it wasn't like meant to be anything, negative anyways. And this is like uplifting message, and it shows all the, well, not all of them, but shows a lot of the various LGBTQIA plus flags. And it goes, jump even if your legs shake. And this person's like, this generally made me feel better about my current situation. I will jump towards my goals. Thank you, random bigot. Yeah, like that random bigot was like trying to be bigoted, but that just sounds like some positive, uplifting message that you would get like from, the, what do you call it? I don't know what you call it, but anyways, the motivational speakers, right? This sounds like a message from a motivational speaker, even though that's not what they were meaning. They were like trying to be bigoted, but this person's like, thanks, I'm going to jump towards my goal. Thank you, random bigot. So this one's like, yikes, and it shows a person in the first part, and it goes, let's check on the gay Republicans. And then the gay Republicans are like, trans dudes, you aren't a woman. Straight men are not going to date you or view you as a woman, and no one is obligated to use your pronouns. F off with your mental illness. And the person's like, Jesus fucking Christ. Jesus fucking Christ is right. But the thing is like, part of that's accidental ally, because yes, trans dudes aren't women. See, trans dudes, as you put it, are people that were assigned female at birth, but are men. Trans women are people that were assigned male at birth, but are women. See, so trans dudes, like I said, but yeah, trans dudes or trans men are people that were assigned female at birth, but are men, and trans women are people that were assigned male at birth, but are women. So, like, with that particular post, you were like technically accidental ally. But at the same time, like, when are these gay Republicans going to realize that those are the Republican Party, which are conservatives, right? Conservatives have always conserved or, conserved the old traditional values. They're not progressive. They're not forward thinking. They're not moving forward to the future. They're the exact opposite. It's in their name. They're conservatives. They conserve the traditional values. So but the thing is At one point, those same people are the ones that used to persecute your group in the LGBTQ community, right? What makes you think that after they're done with trans people and after they're done with all the other letters of the LGBTQIA plus community, that they're not going to come after you? This one says, we all love an accidental ally. And we do, folks. We all love an accidental ally. And they hate the fact that they're accidental allies. Like the people that are the accidental allies, they really can't stand when they're an accidental ally because that's the exact opposite of the goal they were trying to accomplish. So let's read the post. It goes, I'm more disturbed by the fact that sick men will say that they are trans men and go in the women's bathroom to assault them. What you meant to say, my dude, is that you were more disturbed by the fact that sick men will say that they are trans women and go in the women's bathroom to assault them. That's probably what you were going for there, but you bigots don't know the difference between trans women, trans men. You don't even know that trans men exist half the time. And you don't even know the existence of non-binary people and all the other various, people that fit under the trans umbrella of the LGBTQIA plus community. But because of this fact, the thing is you're like, oh, I'm disturbed that men, because trans men or men, will go into the women's bathroom. And it's like, the thing is, though, with that, right? Because you're technically accidental ally in the most messed up way. But the thing is, though, is it's actually your rules and, regulations that you all want to push forward that will lead to that. See, because trans men are people that were assigned female at birth, but are men. Trans women are people that were signed male at birth but are women. But because of the rules and regulations and guidelines that you all want to push forward, you're going to get the exact opposite of what you're really wanting. Because you're going to actually force men into the women's restroom with these rules and regulations, because they can't tell, right? But for those of us that do know, you look at people that are trans men and they are like masculine as hell, right? And some of them muscular, and it's like, wait, you want those people to go into the women's restroom? Because that person is obviously a man. The thing is you're going to accomplish the exact thing you're trying to prevent. But, because you're going to have people that are men going into the women's restroom because trans men are men, trans women are women, and non-binary people are valid. But the thing is even if you all did understand that fact, the point is nobody is pretending to be trans to sneak into the bathroom to assault anyone. Sick men, as you call them, sick men that want to assault women, then bathroom signs are not going to stop them. They're going to go in there and assault people. People that want to assault people, they're not going to listen or look at a sign and be like, oh, darn, the sign stopped me. How will I ever get in there? No, they're not going to do that because they're sick individuals and they're messed up people. They'll do it anyways. But that would require for y'all to even understand logic. So repeat after me. Trans women are women, trans men are men, and non-binary people are valid. But yeah, this post is technically an accidental ally because they're like saying trans men are men. And it's like, yes, honey, yes, they are. And this person's like, oh, thanks. So let's see what they're saying thanks about. People made a huge deal about how sex is different from gender. Because it is. Gender is a social construct. Sex is biological. Okay? Okay, if that's true, it's still gay for a cis woman to sleep with a trans woman, as gender is irrelevant. They're the same sex. It's ultimately homosexual regardless of what your beliefs are. Science is not beliefs. Okay? Science is science. But yes, it is gay for a cis woman to sleep with a trans woman because they're both women. And someone's like, way to show you have no idea what side you're fighting on, little bro. Homo, same, sexual, regards sex. It's if it's the gender and traits you're attracted to, it's no longer a sexuality. It becomes a preference for style, personality, and other factors. Yeah. I mean, yeah. Talk about accidental moment. And this one person's right, is they have no idea what side they're fighting on. It's like, yes. Guess what? Hey, I want to add something there, transphobe. If a cis man sleeps with a trans man, they're most likely homosexual as well, or bi. Oh, these transphobes, I swear. So apparently this transphobe is talking to a person who is obviously not a woman, like trans or cis, they're not a woman, and the transphobe's like, of course you need to see a psychiatrist, you fucking psychopathic baby killer. And then the person's like, what the heck is wrong with you? Which, yeah, what the hell is wrong with you? You will never be a woman. And then the person posted, transphobia failed. Because it's like, yeah, exactly. This particular person that is you're commenting towards is not a woman. So, like, I'm assuming this particular individual is a trans man or non-binary. Which, guess what? If they're trans man or non-binary, then yeah, they're not a woman. Like I said, they can't tell. And most of the time, a lot of them only know about trans women. So they assume every trans person they run into is a trans woman. Trans man successfully fooled everyone. They can always tell. If you sword fight, then yes. You're still a man. Just because you're trans doesn't mean you change gender. Once a man, always a man. You're not only still a man, you're also mentally ill. Truth is truth. You aren't, never will be a woman. I don't know you, and I don't hate you. I think you need counseling. If you still have a dick, you're still a man. Got that XY are definitely a man. Fuck your delusions. They can't. Like like I said earlier, they a lot of them don't know the differences between the three. There's more than just the three, but we're just going to discuss the three for this particular thing. So they don't know the difference between non-binary, trans woman, and trans man. The only ones that they think exist are trans women, so they're always like, you'll never be a woman. And it's like, you do realize there's other types of various genders, right? No, they don't. And often they get the chromosomes wrong too as well, and you're like, you didn't even know your chromosomes, buddy. I mean, in this particular post, they didn't. But a lot of times they do, and it's like, okay. Yeah, but remember, they can always tell, according to them. So this person's like, I'm non-binary, lol. No one can change sex. It makes no difference how many hormones you take. You will always be male. So, as they said, they were non-binary. But real quick before we get to what they say. Yes, you can, actually. And a lot of other people that are, trans allies or trans will agree with the part of, you can't change sex. But I actually disagree with that. Okay, and hear me out. That's the whole point of gender-affirming surgery. If sex is with that, right? Then yes, you can change your sex. Like, because with the gender-affirming care, all they're doing is affirming their gender, right? And so most trans people and trans allies will say, well, I'm not changing my sex, I'm affirming my gender, which is something totally different. But I say, yes, you can change your sex, because there's the gender-affirming surgery, and so with the gender-affirming surgery, that down there is no longer what it was before. Therefore, it has changed. And with the hormones that trans people and people under the trans umbrella take, science has proven that after that, their sex is more aligned with the gender that they are. So therefore, they have changed their sex. Of course, you only hear somebody like me arguing that. A lot of people won't argue that point. They'll just be like, "Oh, I never said I could change my sex. I only affirmed my gender." But I actually disagree with that. You can change your sex. That's the whole point of the hormones and the gender affirming surgery. But that's just my opinion. And it's like, so are you, Marion. We can tell. Anyone is more of a man than you are, you little incel. Good. I don't want to be a man. Lol. They can't tell. It's like, non-binary is neither, for people that don't know, non-binary is neither male or female. And then you have gender fluid. And gender fluid people are people that are sometimes they are women, sometimes they are men. Sometimes they are non-binary. Their gender is fluid, if you will. Non-binary is neither. Gender fluid is that their gender is fluid. Trans women are women. Trans men are men, and non-binary people are valid. Even when it's spelled out for them, they still don't get it. That is so true. They don't. You could spell it out, and they will still get it wrong. Anyways, it goes, transphobe affirms your gender because they can't read. So Kina here, she put transitioned into a girl, only to dress like a teenage boy, but in a girl kind of way. And the transphobe's like, so you're still a girl, dressed like a girl, and still don't have a penis. Why are they so obsessed with what's in people's pants? They're like, do you have a sword? Or do you have the other thing? But the thing is like you technically affirm their gender because they said transition into a girl. That means they were assigned a male at birth, but are a woman. So you technically affirmed her gender. She never said she was. And how do you know what she has between her legs, you fucking weirdo? Awin is non-binary. So this particular person that we're going to read a tweet of is non-binary. And so this non-binary person is like how it feels to be trans, right? And this person, oh god, their username. I might have to figure out a way to edit that out, like blur that out, because I don't know YouTube's guidelines if that's allowed. And oh, they have the two numbers too for the letter H twice. Oh, wow. I mean, I'm not surprised though. But anyways, by the way, you know what? Before we read that, they also have the 3 parentheses thing, which is anti-Semitic dog whistle. Holy fucking hell! This person is like the person responding to Awin is like the worst of the worst. By the way, you will never be a woman. You're a mentally ill man who cut his own off. No, for one, this person is non-binary, right? For 2, when it comes to gender-affirming surgery, nothing is being cut off. And you're right, this person is not a woman. You affirm their gender. But nothing is being cut off with gender-affirming surgery. That's what a lot of people don't realize. That's not how a gender-affirming surgery works at all. And oh my god, this person's username, which I will hopefully be able to blur it out because it is just bad. And then the 3 parentheses thing, I mean, unfortunately, I know what that 3 parentheses means around the thing because it's an anti-Semitic dog whistle, and I unfortunately have spent way too much time on Twitter before I deleted my account, but holy fucking hell. Yeah, I'm sorry, Mr. person that responded, Mr. Transphobe, that's what we'll call him. I'm sorry, Mr. Transphobe. For one, Awin, and I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing it, Awin, is non-binary. So you're right, they will never be a woman. They'll never be a man either because they're non-binary. For 2, you should reevaluate your life with that username you have. Oh my god. We're going to take a break. Well, I'm going to take a break. Y'all aren't going to take a break because it's just going to go right to the next one because I need to go breathe because of that username. And this person's like, at least she used my pronouns, I guess. So the person's like, sorry, you can't distinguish the difference between real events and what the internet tells you. Or what Fox News tells them. Don't forget that. They can't distinguish the difference between real events and what Fox News tells them. Or ANN, whatever that network's called. Or any of the other conservative media crap that they watch. They can't tell the difference between real events and what that crap tells them. Anyway, sorry. But no, they are not allowing 16-year-olds to get surgeries, which is true. They're not allowing 16-year-olds or any person under the age of 18 to get surgeries. That's not happening. You know what is being done, though, to minors? Circumcision. Like, they're like, oh, we don't want people, having their anything choppity-chopped or with their organs and whatnot. Yet these same kind of people, I bet they wouldn't say shit about circumcision. And they probably wouldn't say shit also about the forced gender-affirming surgery that's done on intersex individuals. Just saying. I find that ironic. They ignore those 2 surgeries, right? They ignore what's being done to intersex children when they're born. And they're ignoring the fact that circumcision happens. But then they want to make up this made-up scenario that's not happening. And say, we don't want surgeries done on children. It's already been done, buddy. But not in the way you're thinking. Anyways, so Zombit is continuing. He goes, they are, however, allowing them to go on easily reversible HRT and hormone blockers. which are easily reversible if you missed it the first time. Yeah, hormone blockers, right? HRT and hormone blockers are reversible. Hormone blockers are definitely reversible. Hormone blockers just block the hormones that cause puberty. That's all they do. That's it. The minors are put on hormone blockers to block the puberty, so when they become an adult, 18, they can make the decision to let that puberty go through or take HRT, right? That's like literally what. And the thing is hormone blockers are given to cis children as well for various reasons to prevent puberty for various reasons. So it's not like it's unsafe. It's not like it's not reversible. It just blocks something from happening, and later on that can happen. Zombit, shut up and draw your animal characters. Bet you some 30-year-old who still lives with his mom and talks to underage girls on the internet. Pathetic. But hey, at least you affirmed his gender because yes, that is a him. Fuck. Confused homophobic denies homophobic comment. Warning, perfectly balanced as all things should be. When my girlfriend asks why I don't go to the swimming pool and I have to remind her that as manly as I look, I'm still not cis. And it goes, so, a girl? Nope, still a man. Both of those people just... yeah. That's funny. Accidental ally on Quora. Oh god, yeah, like I have an account on Quora, or at least I used to, and Quora has become a cesspool of bigotry as well. Like, it is bombarded, and as a person that's a ex-member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, it is rampant with Mormons trying to get people to join their religion, and will like call up people that are trying to inform people of what that Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints actually teaches. They'll bombard it and say, no, you're lying. But yeah, so it's bombarded with religious bigots and just bigots in general. So anyways, this person's like, the thing is, males are men, females are women, trans men are males, trans women are females. This will always be true. Accidental ally there. Yes. Trans women who are people that were assigned male at birth are women, and trans men who were assigned female at birth but are men, and non-binary people are valid. So I mean, good job. Grok insists Dylan Mulvaney is a cis female. This is a fifth distinct individual separate from the four women in the previous photos you shared. Biological female. They can always tell, though. Even apparently their AI can't tell either. I'm not even going to bother reading that. Yeah, Grok, you are correct. Dylan Mulvaney, who was assigned male at birth, is still a woman. She's a trans woman. Good job. Accidental ally. I posted a pic with Peppa the pig font saying, Peppa says trans right, protect trans kids. And someone says this. I'm trans masked, by the way. You'll never be a woman, by the way. Yeah. You're correct, because they're trans man. Seriously, get a life. I'm female to male, and even mentioned that in my account description that I'm a man. So this person is a person who was assigned female at birth, but they're a man. And then this person commented with this. With all that HRT and surgery, you still won't be a woman. You're just proving you're severely mentally ill. It's already proven fact you can't get much more R word after the treatments, and you get much more depressed because of it. Ableist. Like twice. Like they're using mentally ill, the word mentally ill, to attack somebody. So they're using that term to attack somebody as an insult. So that's ableist. And then they're using the R word, which is also ableist. But the thing is they're also being an accidental ally because this person is a trans man. And they're like, oh, with all that HRT and surgery, you still won't be a woman. Yeah, they're not. They're a man. Another moment of accidental ally. So it's like a priest and somebody confessing to a priest. I think it's hysterical that Christy Gnome's husband is a crossdresser. And you find this funny because you're transphobic? No, I find it funny because she is. Exactly. Like everybody that's like laughing about it, that aren't transphobic, that's why everybody's finding it funny, because she's transphobic and then she has a cross-dressing husband. Nancy Mace firms trans people. And then this person's like, we trans people do need help, which is transition. So Nancy Mace is like, to anybody celebrating Trans Day of Visibility today, we sincerely hope you get the help you need. Yeah, that's what gender affirming care is, Nancy. So that's great. So Nancy Mace said, hey, get that gender affirming care in transition because that's the help you need. That's not what she meant it as, but you know, it's a moment of accidental ally. Nancy Mace. All I can say about Nancy Mace is Nancy Mace, Pam Bondi, Kristi Noem, J.K. Rowling, all these people need to get fucking lives.
So tell us what you thought of in that video, of this video, I mean. Tell us down in the comment section down below of what you thought of any of this particular content that was in this video of Accidental Ally. Or tell us in the comment section down below if there's any particular moment that you saw that was an Accidental Ally moment in the real world or elsewhere on the internet. We'd love to hear your feedback. Check the description bar down below for the links and all that usual jazz, if you will. And if you like this kind of content, make sure you give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button and that notification bell to be notified of future videos. Or hit the notification bell to join... hit the subscribe button there, notification bell to so you can become a member of the Fox Den. Anyways, thank you for watching. I've been your host, Kai. Until next time, peace out, and I'll see you in the next video.
For the workers, for the nurses on their feet, for the teachers buying pencils, for the families in the heat. Power to the people isn't just a slogan on a wall. When we organize together, we don't rise up, we all rise up. Healthcare on the table, but your credit's running thin. Pre-existing condition means the system won't let you in. Meanwhile, lobbies line the hallways, writing up the bill. Profit over patient, and they call that goodwill. Housing is a human right, not a hedge fund asset play. But investors buying blocks, tracing working folks away. 40% of rent, just so somebody's perfect.